Oh, hi, kindergartners. You came just in time. I just finished planning what I want to put in my informative writing book, but I think you are the perfect person to help me out and to give me some tips before I get started. Okay. So I know that you've been working with Miss Fam for the past 3 days on places that we might want to write about. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. And I know that you've had a lot of practice writing informative pieces because Miss Fam and Miss D and Mr. H wrote some informative writing about animals with you, right? You guys wrote about a jellyfish and then you got to choose your own animal. And I didn't get to do that. So I'm going to need a little refresher. Okay. So can you help me out? All right. So I know Miss Fam told you that informative writing teaches the reader true things about the world. So I'm going to remember when I'm researching and writing things down, it has to be true. It has to be real facts. And then Miss Sam and I did a brainstorm. Did you do a brainstorm? Yep. And we made our list of places that we might want to teach other people about. And my list included these 5 places. Great America, because it's right next to Lakewood. And why wouldn't you want to learn about Great America? It's a fun place, right? But I haven't been there in a while because it's been closed. So I actually didn't choose that as my topic. I put Lakewood School on there because I know a lot about Lakewood School, and I think it's a book that a lot of you would love to read about because when you come to school next year, you'll know a little bit more about it and not feel like scared because it's a brand new place. So I put a star next to Lakewood because it's one of my topics that I think I might want to write about later, but it wasn't the one I chose. Okay. I actually chose Hawaii because it's one of my favorite places to visit, and a lot of you haven't been to Hawaii. So I want to share some facts about it, and so you can see why I love going there. And I also want to learn a little bit more about Hawaii. So that's why I chose it. Disneyland made my list, but again, I haven't been to Disneyland in a while. It's the happiest place on earth. So I put it on there because I thought it'd be cool to write about. But yeah, I haven't been there in a while, and I think that a lot of friends know about Disneyland. So I took it. I did put a star in it. And then Target. I go to Target every week, so I know a lot about it. But because I go there every week, I think it might be a little bit boring to write about. So that's why I chose Hawaii. Okay. So I hope you chose your place and that you're ready to move on. You guys have your place that you chose? Yeah? Give me a thumbs up if you already chose your place. Nice. And if you haven't, that's okay. Maybe you can take one of my ideas. That's fine too. Okay, so then after you brainstormed with Miss Fam, I know you had to do some research. And that's what I actually just finished. I read some books on Epic about Hawaii, and there were about, I don't know, 3 or 4 books, and I learned so many cool facts. Like that the first people that lived there were Polynesians, and that the United States actually didn't control Hawaii until 1898. That was interesting. I didn't know that. And that there are actually over 132 islands, but there's only 8 major ones. So I always thought there was just 8, but there's a lot of tiny islands too. So that was a cool fact that I thought I might want to add. And so that's what I was doing before you came. I was brainstorming what parts of the book I want to put in there. Okay. And so what I decided is I need to make a list. So after I researched and got my ideas, I made a list of all the pages that I wanted to put in my book. Okay. So I added table of contents because all informative writing has a table of contents, right? So you can skip around and choose a topic you want to learn about. And of course, there has to be an introduction so that the reader knows what you're writing about. But after the introduction, I wanted to put these 3 facts. My first one was the location, because I think that knowing where a place is very important, right? If somebody wants to go visit Hawaii, they need to know where to go. So, location, definitely one fact that I want to include. My second fact is going to be about weather. So, whenever I go anywhere, I want to make sure that I have the right clothes and I pack the right things. So, weather is very important to know about. And the last fact, real thing that I want to tell people about Hawaii are some of the things you can do there and the traditions. Because whenever I travel or go to a place, I want to make sure that I can learn something from there or try something new. So that would be my third fact. So I think those are going to be my subheadings or my headings on the top of my pages. So that's kind of like a fancy way of organizing your work. Okay. And then, of course, you want to have a conclusion, something to end your writing. So everyone knows that's the end of my book. All right. So, boys and girls, does that look pretty good to you? Do you think I'm ready for maybe some writing? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I saw a lot of friends go, yeah, Miss Conception, that looks awesome. So, all right. Let's get started with our writers workshop. Okay, so writers, before we get started, we need to make sure we have all the materials we need. Make sure you have your alphabet chart just in case you need help with spelling something. Make sure you have your paper so that you can write your book on it, and that you have writing tools to help you write your story. And I have all three. Check, check, check. So I am ready to get started. And I already made my cover page, just like Miss Pham did. And mine says Exploring Hawaii, because I'm going to be exploring all types of things about Hawaii. And now I want to look at my plan. So I know that in my book, I'm going to start with a table of contents. So I'm going to actually, I already stapled mine, so I'm going to make sure I skip a page. So I'm going to skip a page, and I wrote table of contents just so I remember that this page is for the table of contents. And then next, what I'm going to work on today is what? Yeah, the introduction. Yeah, the introduction. So I need to think of how I want to introduce this. Okay, so come with me and watch me write my introduction. Okay, so boys and girls, here's my title. Don't forget to write who the book is by, and that's by Mrs. Conception, me. You would put your name, of course. And then I wrote table of contents just as a placeholder so I know not to write on this page. And now I'm writing my introduction, and I think I'm going to use both sides of my paper for this book because I want to make sure that I'm not wasting paper, right? So, and that we're conserving. So that's why I'm going to write my introduction on this page. So I'm going to put introduction on the top. Introduction. And you know, I think I want to put something kind of catchy on the top. I'm going to write Welcome to Hawaii. With an exclamation point, because I am super excited to start telling them about Hawaii. So right away, my reader knows that I am going to be talking about Hawaii. And something I noticed that a lot of books do in informative writing is they start with an interesting fact. So something that kind of gets the reader excited about reading their book. So something that I learned is that Hawaii is one of the most popular places to visit in the United States. So I think I want to add something about that. And I'm going to ask them to learn more with me. Like, why? Why is Hawaii the most popular place to visit? Let's learn more. I like that. So I'm going to write that. So did you know? Do I want to ask a question? Did you know that Hawaii? Yeah, I can do that. Did you know that Hawaii is the most visited state in the USA? Why? Let's find out. And I'm going to put an exclamation point because I think it's really exciting to find out. Okay. So, I like it. It's a pretty long sentence, but I'm asking a lot of questions. So when you ask a reader a question, it gets them really interested because it makes them think that you're talking to them, and it also gets them thinking about answers. Okay. So let's read it again. Introduction. Welcome to Hawaii. Did you know that Hawaii is the most visited state in the United States of America? Why? Let's find out. Ooh, I love it. That's making me already excited to go visit Hawaii. So now I need to think about a picture that I want to put. You know what? In Hawaii, when they welcome you, they always have these things called leis, which are like flower necklaces. So I think I want to draw somebody welcoming us with a big smile. So I'm going to make a big smile. Wait, that marker is not working. And with open arms saying, welcome. And I'm going to put a dress on her. Let's do an orange tank top. And maybe a flowery dress. Or a flowery skirt. Maybe a grass skirt. That is a traditional thing that they wear. Usually it's a little more like brownish, but I think I like the green. And, ooh, don't forget the leis, right? Those are the things they give you, the necklaces. I'm going to put a pink one on her. And I'll have her hold a purple one. Because that one's for me, of course. It's my favorite. Okay, so there's her purple one for me. And I'm going to make maybe a red one on the other side. And remember, boys and girls, if you want, you can always just sketch this and then add more details later, because at the end we do always edit and revise, which is great. So you don't have to finish everything perfectly the first, we always reread it and then see if we want to add more. All right. So I like the picture. It makes me happy when I see it. And now I'm done with my introduction. So boys and girls, now that we finished our introduction and our drawing, I think it's your turn to try it out, and then we'll see how you do. Okay, great job today, and off you go. Can't wait to see what you guys write. See you next time.